So at the lip margin or at the vermilion border, the epidermis is modified by a high content of keratohyalin and a thicker stratum lucidum, which makes it more translucent, with an underlying dermis showing high papillae and with a rich vascular plexus. The free margin appears red. There are no hair, sweat glands, and the sebaceous glands. Then afterwards, as you go deeper, as you go down into the dry vermilion, as I have already told you, then what happens that the lamina propria becomes more prominent. Here you have to discuss, or you have to understand what changes appear within the lamina propria. Is that the lamina propria is a loose connective tissue. It has type 1 and type 3 collagen fibers along with elastin. The fibroblasts form the major variety of the cells, forming the external extracellular matrix. Here, the extracellular matrix is laid down in the form of a superficial and a deeper layer. The superficial layer is called as the papillary layer, and the deeper layer is called as the dense layer. Superficial papillary is loose connective tissue, and the deeper is the dense connective tissue. Between these two, we have abundant capillary plexus. That capillary plexus, and because of the invasion of the lamina propria into the epidermis, that's the reason you see the red color of the dry vermilion or your lip, the true lip, right? Also, you should keep in mind that the epithelium of the vermilion border of the lip is keratinized. The non-keratinized lining epithelium is thicker than keratinized epithelium. It consists of only 3 layers. The stratum basale, which is single layer of cells, it has the progenitor cells in it. The spinosum, which is several cell layer thick, and superficial, which is the most superficial layer of cells, also referred to as the surface layer of the mucosa. Now we are going towards the oral mucosa, right? So the cells of the mucosal epithelium are similar to those of the epidermis of the skin, includes keratinocytes, Langerhans cells, melanocytes, and Merkel cells. These are also called as the clear cells. The lamina propria contain blood vessels, nerves that send bare axon endings into the basal layers of the epithelium, and encapsulated sensory endings in some papillae. The sharp contrast between the numerous deep papillae of the alveolar mucosa and the shallow papillae in the rest of the lining mucosa allows easy identification of the two different regions. A distinct submucosa underlies the lining mucosa, except on the inferior surface of the tongue. This layer contains large bands of collagen and elastin fibers that bind the mucosa to the underlying muscle. It also contains the many minor salivary glands of the lip, tongue, and cheek. Occasionally, sebaceous gland not associated with the hair follicle are found in the submucosa just lateral to the corner of the mouth. There are 4 disease spots. The submucosa contains large blood vessels, nerves, and lymphatic vessels that supply the subepithelial neurovascular networks in the lamina propria throughout the oral cavity. So, as you go further on, you should understand that the stratum granulosum is present over here. The color of the lip I have already explained, and then there is extensive vascularity.